Today's episode is brought to you by Audible.com. Go over and get you a free audiobook 30-day free trial over at www.audibletrial.com/nerdcave. You can be picking up Timothy Zahn's new book, Thrawn. It's freaking awesome. Or you can get Ahsoka. You can get all these Star Wars books because everybody loves Star Wars. If you don't love Star Wars, what are you doing with your life? There's over 180,000 titles, though, to choose from. You can get it on your iPhone, your Android, your Kindle. And if you have an MP3 player and what are you doing with your life, you can get that there as well. So go over to audibletrial.com/nerdcave and grab you one of those new books. Get smart. We read at the Nerd Cave. We read. Build it beautiful. What's up, everybody? That was really loud. This is Zach.
And Robbie.
With the Nerd Cave Podcast, episode 208.
But I wanted to make sure you were right, because remember last time we were like 207, 206.
Yeah, and then I looked it up because I'm awesome.
But we are officially on 208. So there's 208 of these bad boys in existence right now.
Out in the wild, just running around naked, chasing woodland animals.
And it's your job to catch them all.
They're no, I was gonna make like a Breath of the Wild joke, like they're trying to like train to fight Ganon.
I get both of yours.
Referencing the story you just told. Robbie, you almost died this week.
Yeah, I did. Found out that my body is allergic to mushrooms.
Yeah.
And
so it's a drug we cannot do anymore.
no, shrooms are completely off. I can do copious amounts of cocaine.
As long as you're not allergic to cocaine, we can stay friends.
We're good.
The moment you're allergic to cocaine or OD on said cocaine, we're no longer friends.
That is true. So I had mushrooms on Thursday. Friday, I kind of woke up with a few spots that were itchy, and it kind of looked like, mosquito bites.
Yeah.
Well,
It was me nibbling on you.
Yeah, that happens sometimes with Zach. But I went and got in the shower, and apparently hot water extremely aggravates everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Aggravates me.
I know it does. I love cold showers. Not really. But I ended up going to work, and as I get to work, it's starting to spread. So I go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I go into a stall, and I just strip my clothes off.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I had boxers on. I don't sit there and admire myself much. But I'm just seeing whelps all over my body. Ooh. And I told my boss, I'm like, hey, I need to go to Walmart and get some Benadryl and some stuff to take care of this. I ended up working 9 o'clock till 5:30 with a severe allergic reaction, popping Benadryl, and I had a can of calamine lotion spray that I used in that frame. I used all of it.
Like, if you would have texted me, I would have been like, go to the hospital right now, or I will murder you myself.
And I ended up getting, my girlfriend Holly sent her brother up with some prednisone, which is a steroid, which helps kind of counter it. But Friday, Saturday, and I think I'm near the end of the rope because my hands and my feet are the only thing that still has some red and it's itching.
I thought you were going to be like, my hands and the feet, the only thing that still look like monsters.
So I am kind of doped. I think I might have a slight, I'm not ODing, but I used a tube of Benadryl cream, and I used all of it within like 12 hours. So this is me somewhat drugged up, so it'll be nice. But I'm doing better. Went to urgent care yesterday. Got a shot of steroids in the butt, and roid rage is a real thing, guys. I'm going to let you know. So stay away from steroids. It makes you angry. But
It's not like I OD'd on Benadryl cream.
among other things, too.
Just crazy parties.
But I'm glad I'm feeling better. I actually have an appetite, which I haven't had an appetite for like 2 days, so I've had to make myself eat because it's like I know my body's hungry, but it's not letting me be hungry.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you're okay, man.
I am too.
I was worried about you. If he would have died,
you would have killed me?
we wouldn't be friends anymore.
It's true, because I'd been dead. Technically, we'd still be friends.
No, I would be so mad at you that you
didn't go to the hospital earlier.
I would have brought you back to life just to kill you again.
So you're like a necromancer?
Yes, but only works one time, so I would murder my friend.
Or you could just pray to the god of light.
No.
Bring me back that one time.
No.
Kind of like they did Jon Snow.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
It happens.
He's too bright for me. So, I did something interesting this week. One, I finished Thrawn as I hit the mic. I finished Thrawn. Absolutely amazing book.
Okay.
Great book. Enjoyed it. Took a lot of the things from the Heir to the Empire trilogy. Brought some things in, which I like. But still made a lot of new things, but keeping Thrawn at the same time.
That's good.
And that's what I enjoy. And Timothy Zahn, just, you're the man. You're the man, the main man.
Really, any of his Star Wars books that I've read have all been
Been amazing. Yeah.
So,
And him to take his most known character and have to change his origin, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Not going to give any spoilers. Read that book. I'm going to do a review, but read that book. I'm not going to do it here, though.
well, one thing that I finished, I think it was this past week, is I finished 13 Reasons Why.
Mm-hmm.
And me, Holly, and her friend Jessica, we were all watching it, and probably the saddest thing I've ever watched in my life. Like, I teared up like twice. I'm man enough to admit it.
I cried in Guardians of the Galaxy, too.
Oh man, so there's an emotional scene?
Oh, yeah, man.
Of course, it's Marvel.
I know.
I
Marvel.
I wanted to cry, but I held it in. I was like, I gotta be strong.
No, I'm just like, I've passed that
Zach
a
just
long
loves
time
it.
ago.
Zach
I'm
loves
just over
to
there
go,
like,
it's okay to be in touch with your emotions. It shows that you're a real man.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And Amy likes it, and that's the only one I got to impress.
That's true. That's true.
So, along with watching Guardians, and me and Allie will talk a little bit about that in a little bit, I went to a voiceover workshop this weekend. And it was a ton of fun, and I enjoyed it.
Where'd you go?
It was in Pensacola. This guy, I think is like Steven Christensen or something like that. I don't remember his name. His name's Steven. He's British.
Oh.
So he could be a con man, but he seemed like he knew what he was doing. But it was with the NOLA Voice Acting Guild or whatever, and I learned a lot. Got a lot of good feedback and compliments, and he even suggested me to do audiobooks. So you might hear this docile voice just
Question.
punctuating your ear holes.
Are you gonna read better on that than you do articles?
Well, I would take the time to actually read over what I'm going to read that day before reading it. Unlike the articles, it's just kind of like, boom, here we go, articles. So, yeah.
I'm excited for you. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, I just got to get a demo and all of that together now. But, yeah, I don't know everything. I could definitely, got some learning to do. Got to get taught. Got some education I need. But it was a lot of fun and definitely worth the price of admission.
How much was it?
It was like $60
That's
to
not
do
bad.
it. Yeah, and it was like a 2-hour session. And hey, and you've probably seen these people. It's these guys that have a lower voice, but they do that really like fake lower voice is like here the whole time. I had a guy in front of me that was that guy, and I'm like, I know I see you, I see you, and he was up here and he did the script before me, and the guy was like, okay, blah 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 blah, but like and he's like laughing like that. If you're one of those people, fix yourselves right now, because that's not, one, your real voice, and two, you sound like a douche.
Yeah.
All right, don't be that guy. Trust me,
Nobody
your life
likes
will
that
be
guy.
better. And he might be a nice guy.
He very well could be a nice guy.
He could be a nice guy, Robbie.
So you mean I should start talking like this now, like really low?
Well, it's you got to round out your tones, round out your tones. But like he did it, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So I got the script, And, like, I started marking up the script, like, because the guy was like, you need to read over it and figure out what words you're going to emphasize, where you're going to pause, all that. And I, like, just marking it all up, and then I got up and did mine. And, like, the guy was like, wow. He's like, you actually listened to what I said earlier in the class? And I'm like, yes, I did. And the guy in front of me was just, like, steaming. I'm like, yes, unlimited power.
Use your anger.
So, yeah, don't be one of those guys.
No.
I'm
glad you enjoyed it. And I hope you get some stuff out of that. That would be really cool.
Yeah, it would be awesome. So, coming to an audiobook near you, Zach Dykes.
Speaking of Audible, we do that at the beginning. We already did that.
I could be the next Mark Thompson.
You very well could be.
I could be. You know how awesome that would be? Like me and Mark Thompson, like hanging out, being like best buds.
What's up, Mark?
Like, do the Thrawn voice for me. All right, let's get into the news. Along with Guardians of the Galaxy this week, there was a little trailer that came out.
I'm so excited for this.
You're hiding it pretty well.
Well, yeah. But I actually am excited for this.
So, Marvel's Defenders hits Netflix on August 18th. Marvel has dropped the first trailer for Marvel the Defenders, and we couldn't be more hyped. But more importantly, we want to know what you think. So let us know in the comments below. What's really awesome about this, scroll down to the little fight scene GIF. A little GIF. It's a GIF. G-I-F.
GIF?
It's a GIF.
GIF?
GIF. What's cool is, like, just in this little scene, you're seeing not one, not two, but four of Marvel's TV, people just kicking butt. And it's all showcasing all of them, which is great.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
You need to. Like, I'm very excited for this. Like, I loved the, kind of like the fight scene between,
Iron Fist and Luke Cage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, he hits him at first, and he's just like, why's your hand glowing? And he goes, probably my favorite part of the trailer was that right there.
And Elektra being being the, like, muscle of the villain, but the lady from Alien, Sigourney Weaver, she's the big baddie in the show. So, looks great.
I'm excited.
August 18th. Not necessarily the summer. They're saying it's summer. I'm like, no, that's fall.
Yeah.
That's beginning of the fall.
Starts September 20
Nope.
something.
For Zach Dykes, fall starts August.
Okay, that's true.
So.
Like, when Matt Murdock walks in, he's like, Jessica Jones, don't say another word. I'm your attorney. I was like, oh!
Yeah.
Well,
hey, you're
let's be loud there. All right, so there was something else. The old Kevin Feige. Feige. Yeah, there we go. The man, the myth, the legend, as I live and breathe, the god of Marvel.
All hell. Kevin Feige. Feige.
Pew pew. Talked about that Marvel movies and TV shows will cross over at some point. And this is something we've talked about, how exciting that will be for, that moment that does happen. I don't really understand how the Defenders are necessarily going to be able to fight on the level of with Thanos or something like that. Hopefully they won't go up against the Thanos, because Thanos would literally just rip them limb for limb.
I could see them being the people who are protecting Earth from the Chitauri, because they work with
but they're still like small fries.
Oh yeah,
they got them big snake things.
But I mean, they're
big
ground,
snake things.
The ground troops, Luke Cage, they can all take care of the ground troops.
Yeah, they could.
But I'm just saying that's the only thing that I could see them doing. Yeah. They're not going to be able to fight Thanos. They're not going to be able to fight, these other super big baddies. Like, you see the people they're fighting, and they've had trouble in their shows fighting regular people.
Like Kingpin. And Kevin Feige said this. It's not necessarily the future's a long time, so the truth is I don't really know, but there are a lot of TV shows being made, and hopefully we'll continue to make a lot of movies. At some point there's going to be a crossover, repetition, or something.
Well, we've kind of already seen a little bit of a crossover, not with any of the major superheroes from movies coming to TV or TV going to movies, but I know in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. we've had Lady Sif come down. Mm-hmm. We've kind of seen them jab at the Avengers, like in one of the earlier seasons after, I think it was after the Avengers, when they're, or was it the Thor Dark World, where they were talking about, wish they could send down an Asgardian cleaning team or something like that.
Yeah.
So there have been, hints and jabs of a potential crossover, but now that the legend himself had came out and said it.
Yeah, and even with like the Netflix shows, they've talked about the event or whatever, so that it's been a big basis of everything. So I'm curious to see where they go with it.
Because you're seeing a lot of weapons being made from Chitaran equipment and stuff in the TV show. So I mean, I think they're doing a very good job of connecting dots to both TV and movie world. So they, like, whenever Fahey decides to, we can merge the two.
You wonder if Kevin Feige is like one of those crazy people that has like the red strings and all of that in his office.
In just one of the rooms of his house, like, you turn on and it's like the red light bulb that illuminates the room in red, and you're just seeing newspapers and books. I can see it.
Yeah, I can see him being that weird guy. Now,
Tinfoil
Allie,
on the window.
Yes.
let's quickly talk about some Guardians of the Galaxy.
All
What
right.
were your thoughts on Guardians?
I absolutely loved it. I thought they did a really great job with it.
Okay, I agree.
I don't want to spoil anything.
No, I agree.
If I hadn't been deathly ill Saturday, we would have seen it. But I'm going tonight because I'm feeling a lot better and I have energy, and so.
Why don't you just pass out right in the middle of the movie?
I'd be so pissed off.
There's I'll try to be as vague about it as possible, but
Pew 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 pew.
yeah, like there's a
I am
quote unquote like plot twist that happens, but it's like he's like the person who's delivering these lines. He's like saying some stuff, and like there's one thing where he's like, and I knew that, like, I couldn't go back this next time, and I was like, oh my god, he did that one thing, and then he said that he did the one thing, and I was like just the theater was like dead quiet, and I was like, like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Anyone else who's seen the movie knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was definitely a big
I'm thoroughly
part.
excited to see the cuteness that is Baby Groot.
Oh
Baby
my
Groot's
god, that
very
was
cute.
adorable.
And I'm really wanting, because I've seen, because I follow Michael Rooker, and I'm seeing a lot of stuff about him and Mary Poppins, so I'm very curious.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
hilarious.
Very curious to see what that's about.
One thing, just as like a pro tip for everybody, is that there are 5 end scenes.
Yeah.
Just placed throughout.
I
Yeah.
haven't watched them, but I know how many
Yeah.
to look for.
So just
I do
pro
that with
tip
every
for all
Marvel
those
movie.
people.
I'm like, Google, how many end credits?
Yeah, there's
Yeah, they came out before the movie was out, and they were like, yeah, there's gonna be at least like 5, so just wait.
Yeah, there's 5, so definitely wait for that. My hot take on it: Drax, the funniest character out
my
of the
god,
whole
that
movie.
was so.
I-
He was really good.
And it's so crazy seeing a lot of these wrestlers
Wrestling.
from WWE and different stuff like that actually making a name for themselves in the acting industry, because I know back in the early 2000s we're like, anytime we saw a wrestler in a movie, we're just like,
That's gonna be bad. Yeah.
But the
John
Rock,
Cena's done
John
it.
Cena,
Now Dave Bautista.
Batista,
I
yeah.
think Batista's like on his way to being
really big.
really big. I don't know if he'll reach Rock size,
It would be very hard to reach the Rocks.
but I think he's definitely on his way of
Carving
being
out a little niche for himself.
Yeah.
And because I've watched some stuff like behind the scenes with him and Chris Pratt, like the painting I talked about last
Yeah.
week. Like, he's hilarious.
Yeah, and the movie, he stole the show for me. Like, everybody's like, oh, Baby Groot. No, freaking Drax was
I'm excited.
on point.
I love the friendship between Drax and Mantis.
Yes.
Or like that was really great.
Yes.
I thought they handled that really well.
The only complaint I have with it is Gamora's storyline. They didn't really focus or do anything with her. Like, there's a little bit, and it seemed like it was kind of there. With the other ones, there was development.
Well,
yeah,
we
I think
kinda-
the point of the movie was to mainly focus on, Peter's
Yeah.
heritage.
Yeah, I understand that, but it was just
But
kind of
no, I was also disappointed. I was like, no, I want
But
more Gamora.
we also did hit on it a little bit in the first
Yeah,
Guardian.
but it was just kind of like sliver here, sliver there. I'm hoping the third actually focuses on Gamora.
It very well could,
And-
because that'll be after,
that'd be great. Yeah, 'cause-
Thanos comes in and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Because in this one, like, it was very, like, Peter and Rocket heavy. They talked
Mhm.
about Rocket, and he had his own little journey that he went through, which that that made me feel emotions. But yeah, I really hope that they focus more on it, because like they developed, some stuff with her and Nebula and whatnot. But yeah, I hope they focus on her more later.
Yeah, sometimes if they focus on too many origin stories,
I agree,
It gets
but
drawn out.
it just felt like she was more of a throwaway this time around.
Okay.
So that was my biggest issue with the movie, but absolutely great. Me personally, I think it's better than the first.
Really?
Yeah.
Soundtrack's just as good.
Oh, the soundtrack's great.
Soundtrack's great. It's more obscure, but like within the movie, it's perfect.
The opening credit sequence was amazing. I love.
So no more dancing to distract villains.
That's my biggest complaint. With
I know. I was telling
Yeah.
her about it.
I posted, like I did that live last night or whatever, and I posted in a few places, and like somebody, I said something about the dancing or whatever. It's like, why is everybody blah blah blah? It wasn't the dance battle that defeated him. I'm like, if I was this ultimate evil, my whole being was to destroy this whole entire planet, and I had the weapon to do it, all I had to do was go, whoop. Do you think I would let some idiot, let's do a dance battle? I'd be like, okay, you're dead. Ah! Like, that would be me. But, I think I'm another total level of evil.
Like, I was
And you're also not a scripted, comic character.
Yes.
And I was telling Holly that. I was like, it's funny, but it makes no sense as to why he wouldn't just go ahead and kill everybody, because if that's your sole purpose, to destroy a planet that you think has wronged you and your people.
Like, that was his whole motivation for the whole movie. And then, like, at the finish line...
What are you doing?
He's like...
Don't get derpy on us.
He blue screens.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy in a nutshell, though. It's like, okay, this happens, and all of a sudden, stabam. It's like, wait, that doesn't make sense, but then, it has a funny payoff.
Yeah, and that's one thing with this movie, and it's more so in this one than the last one. Like, at the most times where you wouldn't hear any kind of joke, like in a Marvel movie, it's joke.
No.
And that's the great thing about it.
There's one scene in particular I'm thinking of where it's this really it was a very beautiful movie, but there's one where they're inside the final boss area, and it's this dramatic circling.
It's like the Avengers moment.
And then what happened to Mantis?
Yeah, it's like the Avengers moment where they're showing the whole team. It's great.
Oh,
Watch out!
Yeah. Mantis, watch out!
All right, so moving on, Aquaman logo has been revealed as DC Films starts production. Warner Brothers has released the official logo for its Aquaman solo film to celebrate the start of production. The film's logo sports the iconic trident with both the white lettering. Check out the image below, blah, blah, blah. Director James Wan recently shared it. So, I like it.
I do too.
It's great.
Those letters aren't white.
No, those aren't white. No.
They're more like a tan.
Now, if you've seen, okay, the movie comes out December 21st. Going to go watch that.
Yeah, definitely.
If you've seen Aquaman's trident, how many points does that thing have?
Tree.
It should have 3.
Yeah, it
right?
should, but it has
that's
4.
Biden.
5. Yes.
Okay,
It's how metal can frickin' Aquaman's trident be? We have to put 5 spikes on this thing.
Because traditionally, it's always been 3.
Well, it's
also easier.
Trident.
What?
What is love?
Don't worry about it. Just keep do your thing. Do your thing.
Cinco Dent.
Yeah. So I love the symbol. It's old school. It's a little thing that I'm not trying. It's like goes on the belt. It goes on the belt. The belt.
It's just like Mermaid Man's. It goes from to Wombo, and you can make stuff big.
Yeah, Wombo. There you go. yeah. There's the man. Jason Momoa and his sexiness.
I'm sorry, that's Carl Drago.
There we go.
Yeah.
Carl Drago.
Like the whole movie, he's just yelling and dog riding would be hilarious.
It'd be hilarious.
I see 1, 2, 3,
It's
4, 5.
Yeah.
But if
5.
you look at it, it's it has the stereotypical the bow and then the middle trident. So it kind of looks like he added the 2 on.
He's like, this isn't metal enough. He's like, man,
and then added.
metal, 5 points, man. So, love that. Now, on to some gaming news.
I'm so ready for this to come out. So ready.
You know who asked us a question about this?
Probably Derek Daniels.
Derek Daniel said, thoughts on the first batch of DLC characters for Injustice being Sub-Zero, Red Hood, and Starfire. So, let's go over to that lovely little thing. I love it.
I do too. I like that they're bringing in Sub-Zero. I like Starfire a lot. And of course, Red Hood has a great story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, we're probably not going to get into a story because it's DLC. But, like, just having the Red Hood there, because obviously he's the prodigy from Batman, but he takes to, killing kind of like what a Punisher does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's the only, kind of person that's with Batman that shoots, which is really cool.
Yeah, and there's no release date yet for these, but the game does launch on May 16th. Will be on Xbox and PlayStation 4. But the DLC pack is going to be $80.
Jeez.
That's with the game. So it's a $20 DLC pack, from what I'm reading here.
I thought you were talking about 80 for the DLC. I was like, I think I am having that hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, what's cool is like they show these, and Starfire looks like classic Starfire, a little more sultry than the Teen Titans version that we grew up with, but
a little less skimp.
yeah, a little more skimp
Skimpy,
than normal. Sub-Zero there, looking like Sub-Zero as normal. And last game had Scorpion in it, so
Yeah.
then bringing in a normal Mortal Kombat, I wish they would have brought Sub-Zero in first, but whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, Scorpion. Now, one thing, Allie's going to pull up that picture that
I was trying to find. Wait, which one?
the one that you just had.
Well, I wanted to get a better
Okay.
quality one. So.
Okay, so in the background you see
I
a
see-
bunch of different shadows.
I see Raiden.
Yep.
Mantis.
Yep.
Manta.
Yeah, Black
Yeah.
Manta's back there, and then you can see Shazam by Raiden as well.
Yeah, that's who I thought that was.
The other ones I'm not sure as of yet, but it looks great. Yeah, you're not going to
No,
see it
yeah.
on this. Is on hers. But I'm excited getting Black Manta into that game. Like, I can't wait to have Black Manta versus Aquaman.
Oh yeah, we definitely
that'd be cool.
like that's something that we need to do with this game is have me and you play, but have it set up with Batman
Like
versus
rivals.
Joker, Superman versus Lex
Luthor.
Luthor, and stuff
Luger.
like that. Luger.
No, it's Luthor.
I was like, no, it's not Luger.
Yeah, Lex Luthor. Torture rack.
But that would be a cool little thing that we could do with this.
Yeah, I'd be down. I'm excited for it. May 16th.
And, I was because I know that they're bringing in Blue Beetle a lot in the shows and everything like that. I was kind of surprised to see him in Injustice.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a very interesting story because obviously it's a Martian device, and it was supposed to come to Earth to help destroy
Yeah.
Earth, but it got stuck on Jaime Ramirez. I think that's his last name. But yeah, now he's fighting for the good with
Yeah.
the Scarab. So I mean, that's pretty cool.
I want Darkseid. That's all I want.
Darkseid is.
We
pretty
talked
big.
about that last week, but yeah, Darkseid is going to
The
be
Omega
awesome.
beams.
So this is public service announcement. The date and
Audiobooks.
time announced for PlayStation's E3 conference. As E3 inches closer, Sony has revealed the date and time for its E3 press conference, which will take place on Monday, June the 12th at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
What
So
day is that on?
That's on a Monday.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, because I said Monday.
Oh. I was thinking. I should have my PTO in by then, so I could take a day off from work.
Okay. I have rookie camp on part of that day, but they've moved Xbox's conference to Sunday, so
Who cares
So we
about
can have
Xbox?
Saturday
Who
and
cares about
Sunday
Xbox?
to do every. Or, yeah.
well, Derek's coming down. We'll talk about this off air.
Yeah.
It's there. It's awesome. PlayStation is going to just kill it. Kill
I
it.
hope they do.
Like they're going to Batista that thing.
I'm excited for all of E3. I want to see what Bethesda's doing. I want to see what PlayStation's doing. I want to see what Microsoft is doing, because right now all of them are doing great things. They're unleashing their new systems. And
Yes.
Well, not their new systems, but their kind of updated systems, like the.
Yeah, Scorpio will be definitely a heavy influence on the Microsoft side. There's been rumors going around with PlayStation 5. That's not going to happen anytime soon.
No.
Like, the people that are perpetrating that are A, don't know what's going on, or B, are just dumb.
Yeah, because looking at these systems,
Like, they just put out the Pro.
yeah, and Microsoft just put out the Scorpio. There's no way that we're going to see a new Xbox or a new PlayStation within the next 3 years.
Yeah, like, PlayStation 4 is selling so well, why cut that? Why cut
Yeah.
it? Like,
Keep riding that thing.
get your head out your butt and actually look at what's going on.
Yeah,
It's sold like over 60 million consoles so far.
because it would be on Microsoft and Sony. It would be such a bad idea to do it within the next year or so.
Well, they've already PlayStation's console refresh with PlayStation 4 Pro, and Xbox is fixing to do the Scorpio, which is a refresh. So there's no reason to
Yeah.
a year later put out a totally new console.
Exactly. That's why I said anywhere from 3 to 4 years we might see talks of a new console coming out. But I think it's like I said, about 3 to 4 years down the road for that.
Yeah. Next up, Derek asks thoughts on Darksiders being announced. Did you play / like the first 2 games? Play the first game.
I watched my brother play a little bit of the first one, but I just never got into it. It looked interesting, but
I was super pumped for the first game, and then for some odd reason it wouldn't like it was like in a tutorial, like it was like halfway through like the first 4 hours, and there was like another tutorial. It was about countering, and it never would count my counters, so I never could get past that part of the game.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
you just weren't good.
It's kind of like me on the first Assassin's Creed when I try to beat the game and like my game glitched out and I was having to fight like a doppelganger of myself, and every time I would hit it, it would hurt me.
yeah,
Or was that part of the game?
no,
You were just in your own mind.
Like, it was
Yeah.
crazy because I literally couldn't. I tried everything. I tried killing other people. It wouldn't let me hit other people. So I'd end up killing myself by killing my doppelganger. It was weird.
Yeah, as much as I love Assassin's Creed, the older glitches are something to behold.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way I'll ever play through that first game again to get to that level.
yeah.
I wanted to
Just
beat it
watch,
so bad.
Just watch the end. I know you want that achievement, but
It's not worth it.
yeah. So THQ Nordic and Gunfire Games have announced that Darksiders 3 is currently in development and is scheduled to release sometime in 2018 for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. The game is set to be an open-world action adventure that includes a focus on exploration and environmental puzzles, and will continue the series staple hack-and-slash combat with the protagonist, Fury. If you don't know anything about Darksiders, each game goes through you playing as one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. The first one was War, the second one was Death, and this one is Fury. So, and seeing the trailer, she has a different like fighting style. She's more crafty than the other 2. War was very, like big, bulky, swing around
Yeah.
thing. Death was scythy guy. I'd never played the
Scythy
second
guy.
one. But just seeing how she fights, like
Yeah.
she tricked one of the guys. Like she has like this like whip lasso thingy-ish thing, and like this like big beast was running at her, and like she whipped onto his like sword, jumped over him, and like used his own sword to cut his head off.
Dang.
So pretty freaking cool, if you ask me. Now, I'm not like, I've got to play Darksiders 3. Didn't play Darksiders 2, but if you're a Darksiders fan,
This is for you.
the gods have smiled upon you. So there you go. There you go. Now, I know Allie is excited about this. The next Assassin's Creed game is named Origins and rumored to feature naval combat. Assassin's Creed is set to return in 2017, back from its brief hiatus after having skipped 2016. For keen fans of the series, however, the incessant leaks emerging from this year's installment have almost made it as though it never left us. As E3 2017 looms, these leaks are only becoming more frequent under the veil of anonymity. I had to pause right there. It was going to be an comedy. Ubisoft sources have approached us to provide fresh details from this year's game. Now, originally, we've already established that it's set in Egypt, and that it was originally going to be called Empire. It is no longer called Empire. It's called Origins. And it's scheduled to come out this year. Our sources suggest that Origins is a vast open world experience.
Yep. They released all this information like literally over a year and a half ago. Though.
Yeah.
Like.
Vast open world. It's just the vast open world. Why? It's a game now. Like that is a just normal.
Yeah.
Every game is a vast open world.
They're like, "Oh, we're open world." So
Like-
are 100,000 other games.
Like the only games that aren't open world that I've played recently, Death Squared, freaking Overcooked,
Yeah.
are about the only two that are not open world.
Well, there's a difference between like there's a lot of games that call themselves open world, but they really aren't. Like to me, open world is like stuff like Skyrim and Breath of the Wild. Like there's other games that have open worlds in them, but they're not open world. Like a lot of them have very because like in Skyrim and Breath of the Wild, like there is like a main story, but you can be distracted for hours.
Yeah.
And then for stuff like just because I haven't played any Mass Effect games, but like for Dragon Age, like it has open worlds to it, but for the most part, you kind of have to stay on the main story. So like, and I mean, there's other examples like that. So, and especially with Assassin's Creed, like you can go and do all that stuff. There's all these side missions, but they're not truly open world in the sense of like Skyrim and Breath of the Wild. That's my take on it.
The story is rumored to revolve around the original Assassin's Creed guild, which I think that's interesting. I want to see that. And will feature two main characters, a man and a woman. Ooh, no.
man.
Its structure is said to be less linear, featuring a character progression system less tied to the story. A development source we spoke to compared it to numerous times to Bethesda Skyrim. They said it was the impression that the project and internally are so far positive. I can't even read. Going back to, it's going to have naval combat. Black Flag is one of the best Assassin's Creeds.
I'm still trying to piece through and play all of it, but I love, because I got so behind with Assassin's Creed after the third one. But like, I love the naval battles. It's so much fun, especially when you go and you're like having to take the forts. And like you have them shooting mortars at you, and then you're just trying to dodge, and you're trying to shoot. And upgrading your ship's fun too.
Yeah, it was. It was a ton of fun. I can't wait to get that back in. They went on to say, not only is Origins rumored to boast an explorable ancient Egypt, players will also apparently be able to go beyond it, possibly even as far as Greece. We were told that boats will return in the game. Just talked about that, allowing players to sail the Mediterranean. Naval combat naturally is also said to be included.
Yeah.
Good.
So like the way that they're describing it, that is an open world game to me. Like they're able to go beyond the story area.
Now I'm going to complain real quick.
Okay.
If you're saying something's going to be like Skyrim, you're comparing it to a game that's over almost 10 years old now.
But it still holds up. Like
I know it holds up,
but
I'm just saying, if you look at what Bethesda did with Fallout 4,
Fallout 4 is great.
it was pretty much Fallout 3 again. Like it's not living in the times, it's living in a vacuum. So I'm hoping that Ubisoft doesn't make the mistake of just doing what people have done in the past, actually innovate on what their product is. Because that was one of the cool things about the first Assassin's Creed, and especially the second one. It was an innovation, and it's just been felt more like a reiteration.
Oh.
I feel like a lot of people just use the example of Skyrim. I mean, I use the example just because, like, I think that more people have played it and more people know about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Fallout is definitely very popular, but I honestly feel like Skyrim has a bigger, like, fan base or player base to it.
I'd be like Breath of the Wild. I'd be like, use something that's now.
New and...
Yeah, and actually does different things.
And actually has a bigger map than Skyrim. Like,
It's so freaking huge.
It is. Like, I didn't believe it at first. I was like, really? But then, like, just, like, the more you think about it, you're like, yeah, no, it totally is. And, like, I've seen all the data comparing it and stuff. But
Next up, we're talking about the games at E3 since Assassin's Creed might be at E3. These are the list of confirmed games at E3 2017. We'll have some type of coverage for that. We'll put out some stuff later. The first one is Battlefield 1 in the name of Tsar. Of the Tsar. The Tsar. Of course, the Tsar are the Russian faction. That'll be coming for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. That is an expansion, not a new game. So you got the expansion, blah, blah, blah. You can get that. Call of Duty World War II will be there. FIFA 18, of course. Madden NFL 18. NBA Live 18. Don't buy it. Need for Speed, the new one, will be there. Splatoon 2, which I'm glad. Hopefully they'll do something.
They missed a great opportunity. I just realized they could have called it Splatoon, but spelt it like TWON, so like Splatoon.
Ooh, that would be good.
I'm gonna call up Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Didn't get to play the first one.
Yeah.
I know people that played the first one were like, "Oh, this is just more of the first one. I need a little bit more," but I didn't get to play it because they didn't have one of those crappy consoles. Star Wars Battlefront 2, PS4, Xbox One, PC. State of Decay 2. I know you're looking forward to that one.
I am looking very forward to both Battlefront and State of Decay.
And then Super Mario Odyssey. So those are the ones that are confirmed. And there's one that is rumored that is Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. And this is from a question that Derek asked. Thoughts on Nintendo reportedly doing a Mario RPG game that crosses over with Ubisoft's Rabbids franchise. And to go a little bit into that, Nintendo's newest console could use a few more games, but this isn't exactly what we expected. According to an undisclosed Kotaku source, Ubisoft is developing an upcoming Switch RPG that will feature its zany Rabbids as well as Nintendo's iconic plumber. Supposedly the game is called Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and it will be out August or September. Reportedly the game will feature turn-based combat, two-player local co-op, and its goofy sense of humor. Players will be able to control both Mario and his crew, including Luigi, Peach, and Yoshi, as well as several Rabbids dressed up as Mario characters.
That's interesting. I do like the idea of turn-based battles like those because I feel like, you know, I love strategic games. That's why I'm such a big fan of XCOM, because it is turn-based and everything. So, I mean, bring it on. I mean, I like that they're trying to venture out and make new things, because that's something that Nintendo always has been, and they've kept it inside their box.
Yes.
And, you know, that's been great, but it's also hurt them in other ways.
Oh, yes.
So it's really cool to see them kind of step out of that box, out of that comfort zone, and try something new, because, I mean, if you're not going to innovate, you're going to get left behind. And I think this is a kind of a smart, like, innovation they're bringing in, you know, a different thing. They're doing something that's fresh, something that's new. So I hope it does well. I mean, that's pretty much all I got to say about it.
Yeah, you don't want to be like that movie with James Cameron where you're left behind. It's scary. All those folded clothes.
I know. Hey, did you watch one with Nicolas Cage?
No, I did not.
I did. I had to.
So that does it for news. We're going to wrap it up with a few questions here. Derek asked, have you played Prey yet?
I watched some gameplay.
I played the demo. You need to play the demo.
I do.
Yeah,
Okay.
You need to play the demo. Just from the demo, I liked the innovation. It's definitely an arcane game where you can go different ways about the situations and everything. Guns are pretty interesting. Not knowing if that mixer is actually a mimic and is fixing to attack you and try to kill you, it's always keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
So I like that. The horror aspect is pretty interesting. The story I want to get more into, so hopefully soon I'll be able to get Prey and be able to play it and everything. But yeah, I enjoyed it. If you want to send me a copy, anybody out there, you can. You know, since Bethesda didn't. Derek also asked, Zach, after playing Star Wars Bounty Hunter on Thursday, how has it held up after all these years? The gunplay, like the movement, and all of that is still pretty much the same. I can definitely tell that it is a game that came out like 2002. The reason why is because not the y-axis is inverted, but the x-axis is inverted. So left is right and right is left, and that throws me totally off, and you can't change it.
See, I like in new games where you can change your button layouts and everything like that. But in some of the other games, it's like, oh, this is what you get, so
Yeah.
deal with it.
And just some of the level designs are just, it's very sparse. It's definitely an older game, but it did bring back a lot of good memories because that's one of my favorite
Yeah,
Star
that's
Wars
good.
games. But it's not as hard as I thought it was, but it's still a pretty hard game. But I enjoyed it. And then Derek goes on to ask one more question: have you played any other PS2 or PS4, PS2 games on PS4? And I have. I played Vice City. Doesn't hold up. I haven't played San Andreas yet, but I do have like all of the Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. So there you go with that. I'm glad that they're doing some type of backwards compatibility,
Yeah.
even though it's not PlayStation 3 games, getting some 2s as well. So there you go on that. So yeah,
I guess that's it.
yeah, that's it, guys. We are sponsored by Audible.com. You can go over to audible.trial.com. I don't know, it's audibletrial.com. There you go. Slash Nerd Cave. Get a free audiobook. I highly suggest Thrawn. Like, please, if you're a Star Wars fan and you're looking for something that is just amazing, go check out Thrawn. That's definitely up. It's going to be Thrawn, then Tarkin, like on the new books that have been coming out. Those are the best.
Okay.
And those, they play into each other as well, because Tarkin's a bigger character in this. And if you've read any of the Heir to the Empire books and you know some obscure characters, you remember some obscure characters, they might make an appearance in there. So, yeah.
And guys, be sure to follow us on all social media fronts. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all under either Nerd Cave or Nerd Cave Vids. I think Instagram is Nerd Cave Vids.
So is Twitter.
So is Twitter. Facebook, we have a page where we like to stream to, and we have a group where we hold just discussions about anything and everything. It could be nerd related, it could be sports related. I mean, you just never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Those are like the worst box of chocolates.
I know, because you always get like the crappy ones.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna get chocolate, I'm gonna get like M&Ms or Snickers or Twix.
You know what you're getting. But I mean, you got to understand what Forrest Gump is saying. Things are going to be coming at you.
Yes, and a big shout out to our Patreon producer, Caleb Palmer. Thank you for going over to patreon.com/nerdcave, supporting us and becoming our first Patreon producer. It means a lot to us.
It does. We sure do appreciate it, buddy, and I hope to get on Xbox and play with you some more.
Yeah, and if you want to go support us, go over there. You got a lot of good tiers, and we're going to be doing a ton of stuff this month because of awesome people going and support us. We're hitting goals over there, so if you want to do that, want to hit some more goals, go support us.
Yes.
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 This has been Zach.
And Robbie.
Have a week.
If you enjoyed that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you want gaming content, you can go over to Nerd Cave Gaming right there. If you want to support us, you can check out Patreon right there. If you want more videos, check them out right here. Go ahead, pick one of them. I wonder which one you're going to do. If you're going to be cool, you'd pick any of them. All 4 of them. You'd be awesome.